It is Thursday, and it is a twitchy week, if I do say so myself. Let's get into it. First, the big headline, Cyberpunk is out. Well, it's been out for a couple of years, but now the expansion's out, Phantom Liberty. As you're watching this, you can go buy it. Early previews, very promising. And I really don't have any doubt in CD Projekt Red. I mean, they had a lot to prove with their big 2.0 update, and then of course releasing any expansion at all, because as you may remember, Cyberpunk released a very broken game and they have been committed to fixing it. CD Projekt Red, maybe one of the most consumer friendly gaming development studios in the business today, and they did hurt their reputation when they released Cyberpunk so many years ago. Gosh, we're 3 years on from it release. Wow. And it really hurt them. A lot of fans lost faith, and fair enough. But I think they're back. Phantom Liberty looks incredibly promising, and let's see how it goes. So you can play that on Geforce now. But that's not it. There's some other stuff that happened this week too. Kovic's Challenge. Now, if you're not familiar with Kovic's Challenge, it's kind of like software that esports players use to train their accuracy, their Twitch skills, all that. It's mostly a software tool, like interactive software. To the casual passerby, it might look like a video game, but it's not really. But it is very useful, and it's particularly useful when we're talking about latency in the cloud gaming space. And GeForce Now had the gall, let's say, to put Kovic's Challenge right there on GeForce Now, available for anybody to use, even on the free tier. You just log right in with your GeForce Now account, bada boom, bada bing, and then of course see how you score. And on the ultimate tier, of course, 240 frames per second gaming, and they had some great numbers that they showed off. 15,000 people took on the challenge, 120,000 sessions. Now, NVIDIA doesn't typically like to brag too much about how many people they have playing on GeForce Now, but 15,000 people taking place, 15,000 unique users, or nearly. That's really telling, because Kovic's Challenge, let's be honest, very niche software. Only the most hardcore of the hardcore are even going to give a rip about this, let alone know what it is. So if we're getting 15,000 people, let's just throw out some numbers here, okay? If I have 15,000 people clicking on Kovic's Challenge to just see what it is, I'm going to guess that's maybe 10% of users. That might even be 5% of users. And if they're getting 15,000 people on that, that tells me in the course of a week, are they getting 150,000, 200,000 unique users on GeForce Now? Is it higher? Is it in the multiple hundreds of thousands? Of course, that's purely conjecture. But that's an extremely good number. 15,000 doesn't seem like a lot when you're talking about game sales. When you're talking about basically soft training related esports software, getting 15,000 people on it, that's a successful run. I digress. Let's dig into the other games coming out this week. Besides Phantom Liberty, which I'm sure you'll jump into, there's a lot in here that's kind of correlates, let's say, with Kovic's Challenge. And those are, including but not limited to, Doom Eternal. Yes. We have Quake 2. Yeah. We have Totally Reliable Delivery Service, which is a very cute game, but has really nothing to do with Twitch playing. And the big one that I really like is BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Now, BlazBlue is not, well, BlazBlue is huge in the fighting game community, but Cross Tag Battle is not a well-loved title from that series. compared to other titles in that series. But the fact that it's on here at all makes a very nice statement, like Kovic's challenge, that fighting games are viable on cloud. Now, we know this is cloud gamers, but people who might be using the service for the first time would be very interested to use BlazBlue Cross-Tag Battle as a sort of testing ground and, dipping their toe in the water, so to speak. And if they say to themselves, oh, BlazBlue plays quite well on cloud, then that basically means everything else is going to play well. Those are the big tests: first-person shooters, fighting games, racing games. If those perform well on cloud, you're in. And the more of those types of games we can get on cloud, the better, because it's just going to bring in more users. Because that's the big question for everyone. What's the fidelity? Actually, what's the lag? Fidelity second. What's the input delay? Anyway, the other big title that I really like in here is Infinity Strash: Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. That is a really cute looking action RPG, and it is so unfortunately named because it reads like Infinity Trash. And I don't know who we need to talk to in Square Enix about their naming schemes, but it's out of control and it needs to stop. You're hurting people. You're hurting real people when you name your video games Infinity Strash. That's it. Make sure you stick with cloud gaming for all your cloud gaming news. I'm recording this basically at midnight and I'm tired. I got to go to sleep. Hey, good talk. I'm glad you came. We should hang out more. Make sure you get on CloudDosage.com because over there we're posting the latest in cloud gaming related news. I'm going to sleep. Good night. Take care.